Alright. Let me just send out the links. And I should have hit the wrong thing. 1,000 years of slow jail for me. Alright. And oh shit, did I already send that? No, never mind. There it is. Okay. Okay. Howdy there, my little fellows. Hope you guys had a great week. Before I get started, it would say so in the link I sent out, but I looked ahead, and we're gonna start out on a weird one. It might be very well. It made me uncomfortable, but I didn't read the whole thing. I just kind of know vaguely about the scene. This is not. We're not saying the it shouldn't be too bad because this is the Rialto Nua version, which means that we're not getting anything explicitly like really bad. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Today's also going to be kind of like a loaded one, very heavy. So I hope you guys are ready and prepared. With all that preamble said, why don't we head right in? February 11th, Unlimited Blade Works, 12, Moonlight 2. Interlude 12:1. Hope that's not too quiet. Anyway, the stone room is illuminated by the morning sun. The light coming in from the ceiling pushes back the darkness. Oh, also, I messed it with the sound settings just a little bit. It shouldn't be anything super noticeable, but I hope it sounds better than it used to. Every entrance and every window is sealed off, but even that cannot block out the sunlight. Even the place that should be covered in darkness benefits from the break of dawn. I'm gonna skip over the breathing sounds, guys. At least for this scene. Entrances and windows are ordinarily used to let things enter and leave. The cracks cannot be covered, and besides, if it is entirely closed off, it cannot fulfill its duty to be used as a passage. If one wants to completely shut out the light, there should not be any entrances. If one prefers darkness, one should go to an underground place without a way to return. In that regard, this underground temple is not perfect. Light exposes all secrets without reservation. The hidden temple was easily discovered, and its master was easily eliminated as well. There are traces of blood on the floor. The original owner of this temple was killed by an intruder. The supervisor of the Holy Grail War, Kotamine Kyrie, was removed from the stage by Castor's hand. That battle happened a few hours ago. The underground regained its silence. The new master of the church is standing in the darkness, but the winner scorns herself. Castor glares at the darkness with an irritated look. First of all, this temple's unpleasant. Neither the sanctuary nor the secret sanctuary hidden beneath it suit her taste. The intruding light is unpleasant, and the priest she killed was unpleasant as well. Get dunked on, Kyrie. And most importantly, the crucial objective has not been accomplished yet. She is shocked at how poorly things are going, and she even considers reducing the whole place to ashes. Fortunately, she refrains from such violence. It's not because she regained her composure, nor is it because of respect towards the church. She suppressed her emotion only because of this sound. Faint, periodic sounds. A woman's painful voice is like a fine music to her. She forgets her troubles and enjoys the spectacle. Oh god, it's even worse than I thought. The groaning sounds of pain come from a girl. Her murmur is very weak. The groans would inspire either compassion or sadistic pleasure in those who may hear them. It does not need to be said that she falls under the latter category. Sweat drips down her forehead. Just watching the beautiful lips, gasping in agony, seems to bring heat to this cold room. You are doing very well, Saber. I never would have expected you to resist the command spell for a whole night. Castor sure has some weird tastes, man. At the back of the temple, the girl hangs, only able to breathe. As long as she opposes the command spell, free will does not exist for Saber. Worse still, a magic so strong that it is visible tortures Saber's body. The command spell pressures her from the inside, and Castor's magic tortures her from the out. Saber's reasoning has almost disappeared. Only the last remnants of her pride hold her back. Neither the command spell nor Castor's magic can take away that deep root. Therefore, the torture continues forever. Castor watches the process, how the girl desperately tries to hold her ground. I'm actually going to turn myself down because I'm worried about myself peeking. It was Castor that dressed her in this white costume. It is not a... Jesus Christ, Castor. It is not arousing with her armor, and most of all, the armor doesn't suit her. If she is an untainted saint, she should be in a pure white dress when she falls. How brave of you. No matter how much you resist with your will, that servant body of yours is different. Oh my god. You can tell that the command spell is slowly infringing on your mind, right? You will be mine in less than a day. In that case, is it not easier to give up now and become mine? Jesus Christ, Castor, what the fuck? The voice protests painfully. Even though her reasoning is melted, Saber does not yield to Castor. As Castor says, she will endure this torture until the command spell fully controls her body. You are stubborn, Saber, but I shall forgive you. I like girls like you. That golden hair, small body, the boyish, gallant figure. Everything is so cute. And I love your loyalty for trying to choose death over betrayal. Really, I want to step on you and crush you. She looks at the girl with eyes filled with joy and hatred. If Castor put her mind to it, she could get Saber to surrender in an instant. Saber's freedom is lost from fighting one command spell. And the result is obvious if Castor uses the second command spell. Saber will become Castor's without the need of such torture. But she's not going to do such an inelegant thing. Castor should take time training her, since she is a lovely toy. Jesus Christ. Yes, it is boring to control your body using the command spell. I will have you become my servant out of your own will. Yes, I will destroy your mind before your body. Man, this is what dojins are made out of. Her strongest foe is now as good as hers. Nothing can threaten her victory any longer. The location of the Holy Grail is a concern. That is only a matter of time. For now, she enjoys the fall of the King of Knights with a smile as a reward for her blotting. But... what are you doing there, Castor? An unemotional voice suddenly calls out from behind. I think I made his voice deeper before. She turns around immediately. Above the temple, someone slowly comes down the stairs that lead outside. A tall, lean figure appears from the darkness. There's no sound of footsteps, nor is there any presence to be felt. The man comes down to the temple and shows no emotion, even after seeing the blood on the ground and the weird position of the girl. Soichiro-sama. Castor changes her attitude right away. Her expression changes from one filled with joy and irritation to that of a tense servant. What are you doing here? I believe I asked you to stay at the Ryudo Temple. I questioned you first, Castor. I asked you what you were doing here. The man, Kuzuki Soichiro, does not change the tone of his voice. The flat voice is more terrifying than any threat. A voice without emotions like a mirror. A guilty conscience. The voice is more fearful to those with greater guilt. One is questioned not by Kuzuki, but by one's own mind. Castor holds her hands on her chest and reports to Kuzuki. He's not one that can be fooled. No, she cannot bear to tell a lie to this person. I have taken away a servant last night from one of the masters, Emiyashiro. I let him go, but he is no longer a master. If he is smart, he should not oppose us anymore. I see, but I have not given such an order. I acted arbitrarily, Master. After that I attacked the church to obtain the vessel for the Holy Grail. I have killed the priest, the caretaker of the Holy Grail, but the Grail's whereabouts are unknown. That was your decision as well, huh? You must not have returned because you could not find the Holy Grail. But it is a place you obtained after much trouble. It would be meaningless to abandon it without finding what you were after. Kuzuki's words are not criticizing her, but Castor can only be ashamed of herself. She killed the priest who knew where the Grail was, but she still does not have the Grail. Furthermore, she has revealed her own action, which should have been hidden from him. What else can she call this but total failure? I understand the situation. Can you explain why you did this, Castor? I'm sorry, but this is all for you, Master. My goal is to lead you to victory. I have no other reason. A long silence. After hearing Castor's declaration, Kuzuki Soichiro murmurs. I see. Then I cannot move away from here. Your troubles will be for nothing if other masters find the Holy Grail while we are absent. Then, Master, you can search this place until you are satisfied. I shall remain here until you are done. You alone are not fit for fighting. You will need a guard until Saber is under your control. Huh? No, there's no need for that. I do not need your help. And I do not know how long the search will take. And this place is dangerous. You will be safe if you return to the Ryudo Temple. That is true, but if I do that, I cannot fulfill my objective. Those words are unexpected, even for Castor. What kind of an objective does this man have, who has no interest even in the Holy Grail, which can grant any wish? Soichiro-sama, then. Hurry. I do not care if it is not here. Just make sure you come up with a clear result. With that, Kuzuki goes back up the stairs. How did he even find this place? I'm pretty sure in Fade Route, it was concealed or something. Castor watches. Well, he's an assassin. Castor watches him go in blank amazement. The dark room is still silent. The footsteps going up the stairs still cannot be heard. Interlude. Out. Boy, Saber's in a rough spot right now. I open my eyes. My eyes are not the only thing that wake up, as my sleeping mind wakes up as well. Oh, shit. The wound is not a problem. I check the wound on my left shoulder. It still hurts, but there's no intense pain like last night. The heat in my body has gone away somewhat. It shouldn't be a problem for me to move around. I eat breakfast and satisfy my hunger. Food comes before anything else. My body won't move unless I get it the nutrition it needs. Alright. I reapply the bandage. The wound has turned to dark blue. Probably healthy. It hasn't healed up and I can see fresh red meat. Of course, Saber's not here. I disinfect it, put gauze over it, and wrap the bandages around it. I'm going to readjust it even further down because I'm peeking all the time. It's a primitive first aid treatment to wrap and constrict the wound, but I have to do it so it won't get any worse. All done. I need a weapon now. It's cloudy today. Must be really cold as there's frost on the grass outside. but it's meaningless to me. I feel no cold. My body is burning, and I want to pour ice water all over myself. But this is much better than the condition I was in last night. The only things I can find are wooden swords. I choose the one that looks like it would be the best and put it into my shinai bag. I slap my cheeks. I don't know if it's to encourage myself or to reassure myself, but that won't be coming back here. Honestly, I don't know why I did that. I carry the shinai bag over my right shoulder and head outside. The place I've lived for so long, for so long. The shed was like my own room, but I don't turn to look at it. Things aren't great, gang. Well, even though I've decided to fight, there are a lot of problems. I have to determine clearly what I should do first, or I'll probably end up not getting anything done. There are two courses of action. I go to the church and seek Caster, or meet up with Tosaka. Let's go find Tosaka. I don't think we're prepared for Caster yet. I'll go find Tosaka. She told me to forfeit. If I'm going to ignore her advice and fight, I have to make her realize I'm not going to give up, and that we're still cooperating. And I can't let her fight by herself. I owe her big time. I can't forfeit until I repay her for that. And she always screws up at the crucial moment. And she's so unreliable that I can't let her be alone. Really cutting to the heart of things, aren't you, Shiro? I adjust with shinai bag on my shoulders. I know it won't be of much help, and that she'll object. Fuck. But I can't obtain peace of mind until I see Tosaka's face. This is just a what if, but if she gets injured away from me, I can't even be there to help her. I sit down on a bench and rest my burning body. Whew. It's past noon. I've searched all around Shinto, but I haven't found anything. Damn. It wasn't going to be easy, but I didn't think I'd find nothing. I knew from the start that I'd have no way to find Tosaka. I felt my luck take over and searched through the town, but I couldn't find her, or any trace of her, really. The other masters aren't coming out either. Guess there's no need to attack me now that I don't have a command spell. I sigh and lay back. I'm making no progress like this. Tosaka hasn't left any trace on my last resort of using myself as bait to lure out other masters is failing so far. There was Ilya, but that wasn't this route. I get a bit uneasy. I might not be able to find Tosaka, and I might not be able to save Saber. They may already be in a terrible situation by the time I find them. If I find them. It's still noon. I'm not going to let it happen so easy. I get back up. I ignore the renewed throbbing in my shoulder and leave the park. I'll search one more time. I'm sure that she's in Shinto. It's just like last night. I don't know why, but I can feel that he's around here. It's not something ambiguous like a premonition. This is a certain knowledge, like a conviction. Interlude 12-2. When did I figure out what the dream was? A desert as far as I can see. The numerous swords stuck in the ground do not have a wielder. The sky is stormy, and there's no forest, town, or sea within my sight. A hill of blades stretching to infinity. A graveyard of steel without any wielder or bearer. I knew from the start, this is the scenery inside that hero's mind. After many sequences of events, one who becomes a heroic spirit ends up in that place. The Throne of Heroes. There are those who left the world loved by people, and there are those who left the world praised as noble kings. There are those who died wanting to fight, and there are those who died in satisfaction. But it seems like there are many that have been praised as heroes against their will. If true heroes are those who legitimately earned the title, these are a different kind. They were forced to the Throne of Heroes because of their fate. They should be called Avenger, an anti-hero. They are the opposite of heroes, but they were praised as heroes regardless. Even those that hated humans, and those that humans hated, are summoned as guardians. But he is neither. He's not a true hero, nor a rare anti-hero. He was never compensated for his efforts, and his own life ended with betrayal, but he never hated humans. But it didn't last. Yeah, he probably grew weary. I was mistaken. Heroic spirits, familiars called servants. Humanity's power to control called the Guardians. They are summoned into every age to prevent humanity's extinction, the Counter-Guardians. But the only condition for their summoning is destruction brought on by humans. Naturally, destruction brought on by an outside factor is solved not by human power, but by the world's restraining power. So the only thing Guardian heroes can see is self-destruction. They are an existence that eliminate destruction brought on by human greed. He made a contract with the world to save humans and become a hero. After he died, he became a heroic spirit and was shown humanity's self-destruction over and over again. He is summoned as a heroic spirit to save people, but he only gets to clean up after people's wrongdoings. It did not take long for him to realize that it is meaningless and starts loathing the human world. And hiccups suck. And in the end, he was betrayed by the ideal that he protected unto death. Hey, Bryn, you feel dizzy? Huh? Hearing the call, Tosaka Rin wakes up. She slowly looks around. This is the foreigner's cemetery. It's just past 7 o'clock, but there's no one here. Well, the hill by the church is always empty to start with. Sorry, I fell asleep. I guess I'm tired. That is understandable. You have not slept since last night. Should we postpone this if you are not feeling well? We do not have to go get them right at this moment. No, we can take our time. Since we know where Castor is, we should settle this right now. After saying so, Rin realizes that her body is warm. Her familiar, Archer, must have kept her warm using his cloak. You knew I was asleep, huh? And you didn't wake me up? Well, it's rare to see someone sleeping while they're standing. I was fascinated, so I had to observe it. That's even worse. Who are you to be staring at a girl's sleeping face? Don't worry. I've done nothing so rude. But I did hear something else. I can close my eyes, but I cannot close my ears. I see. What was I saying, Archer? I heard a few scary phrases like how you're so angry. Oh. That's good. Rin sighs with relief. The dream she saw should not be discussed. She can't have Archer know about it. She likes their relationship. To maintain it, she has to hide the fact that she knows about Archer's past. Let's go, Archer. I know a bit about the church. I can guess where she might be hiding. She brushes away Archer's cloak. Archer silently protects from behind her. Then, Hey, Archer. Have you ever regretted your own actions? She asks without turning around. I don't want to if I could help it. I want to grit my teeth and be stubborn, even when I'm completely beaten. But I'm sure that it's hard. Harder than I imagine, I suppose. That would depend on the person. There are those who can, and those who cannot do so. You are the former. Such people will not make mistakes, let alone even consider them. Hey, that sounds like I'm an arrogant tyrant. That is a good observation, Rin. A brilliant person shines brighter than others. Such people never have to grit their teeth. So, this is a personal opinion, but you would fall into that category. Tosaka Rin will follow her path until the very end. The knight in the red cloak praises her. Rin blushes at his answer, but keeps asking without turning around. Then, what about you? Do you think you would be able to believe in yourself until the very end? I'm sorry, but that question is meaningless. Why? It's something you're able to answer, right? She sounds a bit nervous. To that, the until the very end part is meaningless. Did you forget, Master? I'm at my end a long time ago. The knight in red gives his reply. Interlude. Out. Man. I sigh and lean against a sign. I searched until the sun set, and the only thing I figured out was how useless I am. The wound on my left shoulder is throbbing in pain. I don't know if it's opened up or the bandage is getting loose. Either way, I can't spend too much time on the search. It'll end up like last night if I can't find a clue. Man, where could she be? I recall when I parted ways with her last night. It's already been a day since she told me to run to the church, since I can't fight without Saber. Oh, the church. There is a clue. I thought about it when I started the search this morning. The supervisor of the Holy Grail War. The priest at the church might know where Tosaka is. It's irritating to go ask the priest for help, but this is no time to be hung up on that sort of thing. No. I shouldn't go see that priest, regardless of my feelings. He's a priest, but Kotomine Kyrie is not a man that should be approached. I don't want to go ask him for advice, but he's the only one that I can count on right now. I'll consult him just this once. That shouldn't be a problem. I convince myself and move my aching body. It's almost 7 o'clock. Still very unsatisfied with my sound. 20 minutes walk from the station. The church is in the suburbs, away from the noisy town. It's been 9 days since I last went up this hill, but I'm going there pretty often now, considering that I've never went there before. To be honest, I don't like the church. Maybe that building itself is a forbidden place I shouldn't approach. The fire 10 years ago. The church took care of all the orphans at the time, so it reminds me of that incident whether I like it or not. I get up the hill and come out into the clearing. I get a sudden headache. It's not because of the wound on my shoulder. The wound is causing me to have a fever, but it shouldn't have given me a headache. My temples are hurting. I lose myself and feel a chill, as if my body's splitting in two like a shedding insect. Interesting analogy. This is weird. I bear the headache and start running. It's because of the hunch I've had since yesterday. The conviction that Tosaka is in Shinto. That sensation is assailing me now and causing the headache. Then, something should be going on in there. Now you can see the little bit of blood spatter in the center aisle there. There are bloodstains on the floor. Oh, there you go. The blood continues to the door, to the back of the church. No, that's wrong. It looks more like it came out from that door. I'm curious about it, but now's not really the time. If there's blood, it means someone's hurt. And this much too. My life must be in danger. I feel a sharp pain in my head. dull heaviness settles in my body. I vaguely wonder where Shinji is right now. Anyway, I'll ignore that and take out the wooden sword and start walking quietly. Tosaka? You there? Nobody replies. The air is tense. I feel like the windows here will break if I'm too loud. I follow the trail of blood. It's coming from in between the columns. A dark stairway that you would normally not notice. Descending stairway. This place has a basement? This is a church, so could it be a mausoleum? I don't have enough energy to stand here and think. I cautiously step into the darkness. I descend into the dark. I see a faint light at the end of the stairs. Breathing quietly, I make my way down using that faint light. The narrow corridor ends, and I come out into an open space. It's a big stone room. The stairs follow the wall down to the catacombs. There's an open space at the end of the stairs, and there's the person I've been looking for, Tosaka Rin. Ooh, new angle. Tosaka confronts the enemy before her with Archer's protection. In front of her, in front of the altar, are two people. It does not even need to be said who they are. The mage in a purple robe, Castor, and her master, Kuzuki. And on the altar behind them is... She's still like that? Jesus Christ. Seiru, who's looking down and panting painfully in a very compromising position. My heart jumps. My pulse is beating faster than normal. The situation is obvious. Two pairs of master and servant are confronting each other in the temple about 5 meters below me. They haven't noticed me standing above them, as they're too absorbed. Tosaka and Castor are looking for an opening to strike. It'd be suicidal for them to look up in a situation like this. My heart beats even faster. My head pounds and my shoulder aches as if seared by a hot iron. It can keep me in prison sitting forever like this. Castor or Kuzuki will notice me if they happen to look up just a little bit. Not yet. I can't act so recklessly. I breathe quietly. I push my body against the wall and watch while keeping myself hidden. It's still too early. It'll be too reckless to charge in when I don't understand the situation yet. And more than anything, I don't really have much power. The strengthened wooden sword is my only weapon. It's foolish to confront Castor without a plan. No, that's wrong. I do have another weapon. Probably shouldn't make it, though. What am I thinking? I can't use projection. Half my body became numb after I used it even once. Archer told me that it'll end up worse if I do it again. Using magic beyond your capabilities can destroy you. If I use projection magic in this state, it'll be natural for me to die on the spot. The chance will come. For now, I'll bide my time and wait for my chance. I see. So you killed Kyrie? Her voice only holds murderous intent. Tosaka's glaring at the enemy with a coldness I've never seen before. Yes, he didn't seem like someone who would obediently hand me the grail. I also didn't want him to interrupt later on. In contrast, Castor is calm and composed. The mage in purple cheerfully admits the murder of the priest. Shit, it's a good thing I didn't go to him earlier. A gritting sound echoes through the temple. He was more like a devil than a saint to me, but that priest was a fellow apprentice to Tosaka. And he was killed. Even though he was involved and might have been prepared for it, it's not something she could take in readily. I see. That's fine. Kyrie should have been prepared for such a thing. But Castor, did you check his corpse? Am I mistaken? Or has she suppressed all her anger? Tosaka seems like she's not even really angry at all. Castor evades Tosaka's question. Or was that trail of blood out of the church? What are you saying? Such a thing should not concern you. No, it doesn't. But it's not something totally unrelated to me. I just wanted to make sure, since I'd be relieved if he really is dead. What does that mean, little lady? Ojo-chan. It means what it means, Castor. He's not one to die so easily. I just thought he might be alive, since he didn't check the corpse. This is a tense situation, but that's really funny. Damn, you're useless. If you attack Kyrie, make sure you even killed him. Oh well, I have something to do now, so let's finish this quickly, Castor. We can fight freely as there's no hostages this time. Shiro looks off to the side awkwardly. A signal to start. Tosaka or Castor. If either one of them takes a step forward, this temple will be filled with magic. You talk big, but can you beat me in this situation? It depends on how I do it. Fortunately, it seems Saber has yet to come under your control, so the conditions are the same. I also know about Kuzuki-sensei. Saber was surprised, but he's no threat to Archer, if he knows his attacks beforehand. Tosaka points to Archer while staring at Castor. You heard it, Archer. I'll fight Castor. She might break your contract if you get too close to her. So I'll be fighting that man. I do not mind, but do you know that a mage can't beat Castor, right? Don't worry. I won't say anything if I didn't have a chance of victory. I'm surely going to defeat Castor here. If I do that, Saber will be freed and Shiro can make a contract with her again, right? Tosaka tenses for action. I've also got less water than normal, and I'm a little bummed out about that, since I'm already halfway done with it. I feel the pressure as if she's a tiger about to attack its prey. And as if to stop her. That is only in theory. It is difficult to defeat her here. She's a master when it comes to running away. She's a woman that will kill her own brother to escape. Archer steps in between Tosaka and Castor. Archer, what are you doing? He doesn't answer Tosaka. The knight in red silently confronts Castor. I think I saw something like this before. I killed my own brother? You talk like you know about me. Do you know my true identity? True name? I hear human-shaped creatures made of dragon's teeth are magic used by the king of Colchis. I hear that his daughter, Medea, was famed as an excellent witch. Witch. The air freezes. Witch. Castor's composer disappears and emanated like fire is directed at Archer. I see. Then you should know which of us is at an advantage now. Right? Archer doesn't answer. His expression's like a stone, as if accepting everything that is happening. Resistance is futile, Archer. You won't be able to take back Saber, no matter who you may be. She still has a will to resist me, but that should not last for another day. And I can make her into my puppet now, if I use my command spell. I barely stopped myself from moving. Not yet. Even if that's true, now's not the time. If I want to save Saber, I can't jump out now. Huh. Saber should be able to stand it even if you use the command spell. I don't know if it'll be in a minute or two, but we should be able to beat you in that time. But Archer, do you really think so? Do you think we can defeat? But Archer, do you really think so? Do you really think you can defeat me here, like that girl thinks? Castor and Tosaka are glaring at each other. And standing in between them. And that is impossible. Even if we attack you, all we would manage to do is take half your power at most. What awaits us after that is a disadvantageous situation, where we would be fighting both you and Saber. Archer does not meet his master's expectations. Archer, that's... You should know, Rin. We cannot win if that happens. Saber's abilities were restricted because of her incomplete master. As she does not have that restriction anymore, she is the strongest servant now. Only Berserker should be able to match her. He speaks plainly. Tosaka stares at Archer in astonishment, and even Caster is bewildered by the sensible enemy. But it's different from me. I've experienced something like this before. Could he... Getting a bad feeling. Back at the Rito Temple, when Caster proposed that he join her, what did he say back to her when he refused? Don't. I remember without realizing. Don't do it. It's not because the situation will get worse. You're Tosaka's partner. So don't do it. If you do such a thing, I don't know what kind of an expression she'll make. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed as usual. He steps forward without enmity or intent to kill. Don't curse me, kid. There's nothing else I could do in a situation like this, right? He looks and smiles at me as if he knew I was watching the whole time. Which you probably did. Well, Caster, let me ask you. You got room for one more servant? Archer, you... I'm not even gonna try. I'm not in like the right space for it. Caster laughs out loud while Archer stands tall before her. And Tosaka doesn't look away. She should break down at a time like this, but she keeps a straight face and endures it, gritting her teeth. Of course, I have enough capacity to accept all the servants. You know where I get my magical energy, right? Magical energy that allows her to maintain 7 servants. Is it the lives of the people in this town? Then this should be easy. I shall accept that earlier offer you made, Caster. He holds out his hand to Caster in spite of that. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosaka and for approving of Caster and joining her side. A hero. For this hero who embodies Emi Ashiro's ideals to do such a thing. Even though you refused back then, you are pretty unfaithful. The situation's changed. If Saber's on your side now, you're likely to win the Holy Grail War. It is natural to want to be on the winning side, right? Archer walks towards Caster defensively. That means he's abandoning Tosaka. Tosaka doesn't stop him and stares at her enemy. Kozuki's just kind of in the corner. You know that figure. The red classroom. She tried to hide her trembling legs and act like the same old Tosaka Rin, even with the collapsed students in front of her. That's her strength and weakness. She tries to act firm in any situation, so everybody around her gets the wrong idea that she's a strong person. Not gonna lie, Archer's fit's kind of fire. And not that hard to cosplay either, if you know how to sew. Use your contract breaker. Rin still has her command spell. I might attack you if you don't hurry. His tone doesn't change. He betrayed Tosaka in front of her, but he's still acting normally. She must be on guard against such a guy. Caster takes out the distorted dagger, but doesn't pierce him with it. What? You'll obtain a loyal subordinate without trouble. Why do you need to hesitate? Really? I do not trust betrayers. If your words are correct, then shouldn't Saber be enough for me? You don't trust betrayers, huh? I certainly might betray you. I am going to your side of my own benefit. I do not approve of you of my master, but... The command spell is there to punish the betrayer, right? Alright. I shall prove to the world that I am great enough to take you in. I am interested in your noble phantasm, so I'll follow your plan. Caster raises her arm. The dagger to eliminate the contract pierces Archer's chest. Jessica makes a pained face. It must be the reaction of having her contract broken by force. Been there. But this isn't the time to be hesitating. This has become the worst possible situation. Jessica watches Caster and slowly retreats. Jessica's calm. She knows it'd do no good to fight them now. If she wants to keep on fighting, she has to retreat for the moment. There are 6 meters between Tosaka and the stairs. Is it possible for her to run that distance safely? Impossible. It's apparent watching the scene from above. Kuzuki, who's been silent up until now, is on guard against Tosaka. If she turns and runs full speed, would she be able to reach the stairs and get to the exit before Kuzuki catches up to her? Well, I mean, technically she only needs to get to you. For, like, backup. Tosaka sighs while looking at them. Her face. That's impossible. Seems to say so. She'll die. She'll be killed. If I try to help her, I will also die. The area below me is a land of death. There's a master called Kuzuki along with 2 enemy servants. There's no way I'd get out of there alive. 3, depending on how long this takes. My throat's dry. It kind of is, actually. My fingers are tense from nervousness. 0 or 1. You move before I can think. Ah, shit. Tosaka moves. She starts for the stairs without any warning. Behind her, a tall, lean figure catches up to her so quickly that Tosaka appears to be standing still. Kuzuki's fist should hit her in the back of the head. He was able to hurt Saber through her armor. It should be easy for him to break a human skull. I can't save her. I can't save her by myself. I can't save her with this wooden sword. I'll die if I go out. 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 Shit, I don't remember. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking jump down. I don't even use the stairs. I've jumped down behind Tosaka without even knowing her. But that's it. My wooden sword's destroyed by Kuzuki's fist, going for Tosaka's head. Okay, he planned to block it, okay. What? Everyone's astonished by the sudden intruder, except for one man who reacts as though it's perfectly natural, and is pissed about it. He does not hesitate. It does not matter for this man who the enemy is. He has no emotion for the one who appeared. Death's scythe is thrust. There's no way to block it. I'll have my neck snap like a flower. How pitiful. It's meaningless if it won't last even 2 seconds. I will not be able to do anything. Not even save Tosaka. No. I had a way from the start. I can prepare numerous things to block the attack. If I'm a mage, what does the fighting is not my body. It's something I make out of magic. Trace on. And then make it. Success is a matter of course. Do not reconstruct it from basic structure. Danger. Read its concept, the maker's thought, expectation, moral, faith, and the origin itself. Danger. That is why it is not reconstruction, but projection. It is an equal shadow cast by the true object. Danger. It does not matter how great the work is. If it has been accomplished, there's no problem with recreating it. Overload. But there is another problem. Yeah, the problem is the unit cannot keep up with the function. My body is burning. Every cell in me catches fire. My nerves let out agonizing cries. My retina cracks and dries and my heartbeat disappears. I ignore my body's order to stop. Concept of creation. basic structure, composition material, skill of its making, the experience of its growth, the accumulated years. I skip it all and make up Concho and Byakuya. My whole body's burning. Using projection now means dying. Emiyashiro's body cannot handle such magic. My head ignores it, and therefore my body will die. But that cannot be a problem. No, it cannot be. I will die if I reproduce swords? Of course not. This body is a magic circuit specialized for this purpose alone. I have been saved by swords, and I have lived with swords. I do not know about others, but it is impossible for me to destroy myself by reproducing swords. My man's is living by the sword. Ha! I repel it. The same weapons are in my hands, and the enemy is the same. Concho and Byakuya are in my hands. The reproduced noble phantasm of Archer has repelled Kuzuki's fist once again. It stops right there. Kuzuki must have figured out this would turn out like last time, as he takes a step back. My lungs explode. The breath I've been holding escapes my mouth in a rush. Probably some blood, too. I don't feel my left shoulder. My wound is completely opened up and the blood stains not only my bandage, but my shirt as well. It's not damage brought on by using the projection magic. 2 attacks. I nearly repelled Kuzuki's attack twice and my shoulder got destroyed. I bet my shoulder would have been dislocated with one more attack, and my arm would have been ripped clean off. I can't show that. I ready my twin swords and protect Tosaka's back. And Tosaka is... You idiot! Why are you here? She stopped and is complaining to me. Of course. I'm relieved. My choice wasn't wrong. I'm glad her good-heartedness is still there. Ugh. Nah, it's not the time. It's too early to tell if my choice was right or not. I have to get out of here alive. Sorry, complain to me later, Tosaka. I'll listen once we get out of here, so let's take care of them first. Tosaka nods silently and readies herself behind me. I knew you were going to do something, but I did not think you would jump down. Kuzuki's watching us, his fists ready to fight. He has no intention of letting us go. He's standing there so he doesn't let one of us go. If either one of us moves, he should react right away. But I can't be taking my time. The wound on my shoulder is getting worse by the second. My concentration fades as more blood is lost. My body won't last long to start with. If we are to run, we should do so as fast as possible. But we can't run away that easy. Kuzuki will react if I move. When that happens, Tosaka will be the first one to die. I had to defeat Kuzuki to let Tosaka go, but I don't have the power to beat Kuzuki, and he's not our only enemy. Behind him are Castor and the Betrayer, Archer. No, in the worst case, Saber might become our enemy. Was there no exit to begin with? There is no miracle that'll let us escape from here. I want Tosaka to escape at the very least, but even that would require so much luck that it makes me sick. That's it. I was surprised by your intrusion, but the result does not change. Yes, it looks like you've given up. You came out, so you don't mind dying, right? I shall end it here. It'd be troublesome to keep you alive, so... She's coming. I'll resist with all my powers. I ready my twin sword and stand in front of Tosaka. The least intent to kill. Right before it reaches us. No. Hold on, Castor. The knight in red stops the attack with an emotionless voice. Archer, I thought you would know. I thought you would know that you had no right to say anything here. No. There's something I forgot to tell you. I want to give one condition for me to side with you. Even though you already did it, I have one condition. A condition? Yeah. I gave you my freedom without resistance. As compensation, I would like for you to let them go. They're useless as masters now. There's no merit to killing them. His proposal sounds objective. Tosaka watches it intently. Let them go? You're more good-natured than you act. I was born as a human, and I will have a bad aftertaste if I kill my master right after I betray her. Oh, you are a traitor, but you still say such a thing in front of the one you betrayed? Fine. I shall let them go this time, but I will kill them if they get in my way again, no matter who stops me. Is that fine, Archer? Of course. If they're stupid enough to continue fighting in this situation, they deserve to die. That must have concluded the negotiation. The intent to kill filling the temple goes away, and the restraining enmity fades. So that's it, you two. I'll let you go this time. Now run like the dogs you are. I glare at Castor, but Tosaka pulls on my arm silently. Let's go. She's right, she whispers in my ear. I calm down and turn my back to the enemy. We don't run, but slowly make our way to the stairs. The distance that seems so great is covered in just a few steps. A footstep. Tosaka takes a step into the stairs and turns back to Castor. No, it's wrong. Tosaka didn't look at Castor, but the man smiling beside our enemy. It is wrong to curse me, Rin. It is just that this woman is a better master than you are. If the difference is clear, I will choose the stronger one. You're right, but you'll regret it. I will never give up. I'm going to defeat Castor and get you back. I won't forgive you even if you apologize to me at that time. That's just a vain effort. Well, I'm not going to stop you if you want to throw away your life. She turns away and starts to walk. She's biting her lip in anger. But she doesn't speed up, and Tosaka leaves the underground temple in a magnificent manner. We get out of the church. We don't say anything. My wound hurts. The sweat on my forehead drips down to my eyes, and my vision's wavering. Oh, even walking hurts. It hurts every time I take a step, and my strides are getting shorter. Emi-kun? She turns back to me as I'm falling behind. Then, Tosaka suddenly looks at me seriously. Let's rest for a bit. It should be hard for you even to walk. Huh? No, I'm fine. I can bear this. We need to get home as soon as possible. To the Emiya or Tosaka household, I think Tosaka is actually closer. It doesn't matter, but we should get to Tosaka back to her home ground. Don't worry about my wound. It's not like it's like poison or anything. I ignore Tosaka's stare and keep walking. Ooh. How pitiful. My knee's about to give it out right after I say so. See, you're pushing yourself too much. It's suicidal to fight against Kuzuki with that wound of yours. Take a rest. They won't come after us. I'd assume so, but let's get home as quickly as possible. It's really not that painful. Hey now! Don't say it's not that painful when you're bleeding so much. I don't know why you want to go home so bad, but we should get rest for now, right? She scolds me. Oh, she's not back to par yet, huh? Her usual coolness isn't there. She's very emotional, so her anger is going to be unstoppable if the brakes give way. Are you listening to me? You're not like Kyrie, so it's troubling to have a trail of blood after you. First of all, why did it end up like this? Why did it end up like this? I know I told you to go to the church, but couldn't you tell it was dangerous right away? Hey now, I was able to tell right away. I knew something was bad was happening the moment I got to the church. You should have gone home right then, idiot! Not only that, but you came in with the wound of yours and used projection again. It's natural for your wound to get worse, and you're saying it's not painful? Geez, what's wrong with you? Why should you push yourself so hard? Jessica roars without stop. But, well, it really isn't that painful. It's more painful for you, right? So let's go home. You can complain once you get home. That's why I wanted to go home as quickly as possible. She doesn't have to act that strong. Tosaka can let everything out when she's back in her own home. What? She wipes her face like she made a mistake and turns away. I can't really think of anything to say. I said something really cool, but that I can't think of any follow-up. That was... I can't believe it. A guy made me cry. She murmurs while looking down. Tosaka, your hand. You're holding my hand. Shut up. Take responsibility, idiot. Hold on. My wound's hurting. Don't pull on my left hand. Take the other one. It's the foreigner cemetery. Tosaka walks over to the grassy area and finally lets go of my hand. Hey, Tosaka. We don't have time to be playing around in the cemetery. Sit down. Just sit down for now. She doesn't let me object, so I sit down. And turn your back to me. Don't look over here, okay? I'll get really angry if you look at my face. I hear a sound behind me. We sit down on the grass with our backs to each other. I don't get why she's doing this. Tosaka's silent, and she told me not to turn around. I don't have anything to do, so I just look up at the sky. I gasp at how big it is. Is it because I've been underground for so long? Or is it because the sky's clear tonight? Anyway, the winter night sky is so beautiful that it makes me forget about my wound. The warmth of Tosaka's body on my back doesn't bother me either. I look up at the black sky, forgetting about everything for now. How long have we been sitting like this? The silent girl starts to talk in a calm voice. You can see a little bit of blood on his shirt. I'm just talking to myself. See? Can't reply to a girl if she's just talking to herself. I'll keep staring up at the night sky. I might have made a mistake. I should have done what Archer said and beaten Castor without caring about how I did it. I was trying to find an opening because I was worried about small sacrifices. But it turns out that everybody in this town might be sacrificed now. She keeps talking. She's probably whining. She's not saying so because I told her. In short, Tosaka doesn't want to contemplate her actions by herself, but wants someone else to make her do it. I'm not complaining, but I keep on screwing up when it counts the most. I can handle the second and third most important things with ease, but I always have a problem with the single most important one. The winter sky's clear, but in contrast, the air is really cold. I don't care about myself, but isn't Tosaka cold without her coat? I'm worried about that. It's not Archer's fault alone that he went to their side. It's my fault for letting Castor be. But, yeah, it really gets to me. I was talking to him earlier, but I'm cornered already. She sighs. I can't see it, but I bet her breath is white. Hey now, I think this is where you make a comment. Oh? So what were you cornered by, Tosaka? It's about never regretting your own actions. You said I'm not the type to regret my actions, but it seems now is a critical moment. I'm even more depressed that I've made a mistake. I see. I don't understand her too well, but Archer's right. Tosaka isn't the time to regret her actions. That's just now, right? It's irritating, but I agree with Archer. There's nothing for you to regret. Why? Caster's doing whatever she wants, and even Archer lost faith in me. This is because my policy was a mistake, right? It's just that you were unsuccessful. You haven't made a mistake. If you haven't made a mistake, you can be proud of yourself even if you were unsuccessful. The process. If you walk down the path that you believe is right, you can't be wrong. At a time like this, most people will realize that their path is a wrong one. But she's different. Her path should always be one that she can be proud of. Yeah. To be honest, you've always shined. I won't regret my actions either. I believe what I've done is right. But it's full of stitches. I don't want to regret anything. I want to make all the tragedies that happened into meaningful things by believing that my path is right. But you're different. You're the type that will regret something, then go back and retaliate. I'm deceiving myself with all the patchwork, but you go and completely destroy it with a straight face. You're breaking even. You only get depressed once in a while, but what comes after is scary in your case. I think you'll go to the one I think you will go to the one that got you depressed and get them to be even more depressed. What is that? Are you trying to finish me off? Yeah. Thought I'd strike while your guard was down. Well, isn't it true? I'm sure you don't intend to give up now. I look up at the night sky and say so, as if talking to myself. Tosaka doesn't answer, but I think that she smiled, getting herself together. And silence follows. Tosaka must have said everything she wanted to, and she stops talking. I aimlessly look into the night sky. We should be going home, but neither of us can stand up to break the moment, so we just keep our backs to each other. Oh, yeah. Why didn't you come help me, Shiro? I can't explain. There are many reasons. I think it'd be stupid to explain each one. So I'd say something I have to tell her. You remember this pendant, right? I show her the pendant. Thought so. I bet she intended to keep it a secret, but she made a mistake again. Hey, where did you get that? Found it in your room. Oh, you might get surprised when you get home. Sorry, I knocked over your dresser. Sorry. I returned her the pendant behind my back. So what about it? Well, I have the exact same pendant at my house. I picked it up when I found it after being killed by Lancer. I casually hint about that night. Then... There's an identical one? Just like a gasp as if she heard something she shouldn't have. What? Did I say something strange? No, it's nothing. But why would that be the reason to come help me? That pendant means nothing, right? Right. It's just a reason I made up afterwards. To confess, I've been admiring Tosaka Rin for a long time. And this is a problem, but I got to like you even more after I talked to you. So I didn't want you to die. I jumped down even before I realized it. Hey, now, don't say it so directly. You'll create misunderstanding if you talk without thinking. I'm not going to create misunderstandings. I really do like you. I obstinately reply at once. It's not a lie, so there's no misunderstanding to be made. You idiot? That's why you jumped in suicidally? You big idiot? Jessica keeps calling me an idiot. She's criticizing mercilessly, but it doesn't really feel that bad. The night sky is beautiful, and I feel calm. And I'm just really happy that Tosaka's back to normal. Alright, let's go home like you said. Here, give me your hand. It should be hard for you to stand up with that wound of yours. I grab her hand with my right. Jessica pulls me up. Then we don't owe each other anything now. Let's not count today's incident. That'd really help me out. I don't know what the pendant meant to Tosaka. I bet I would have felt more guilty towards Tosaka if I found out. Tosaka didn't want that, and she said the incidents offset one another. So, Tosaka shouldn't feel bad about being helped earlier. And we leave the foreigner cemetery. And on the way... Thanks for helping me, Shiro. It really did help me out. Tosaka adds with embarrassment. We walk down the hill, but we're going back to our home ground where it's safe. Tosaka heads for my house and not hers, as if it's natural to do so. We're back at my place. I never thought I would make it back alive, so I relax once I get into the living room. Whoa. Oh. I feel a little dizzy leaning against the wall. See? You can't even stand up, idiot. She's right, but I think her last comment was unnecessary. How many times did she call me an idiot today? But she set a new record already. About 4 or 5 times. Come over here. We have to replace those bandages at the very least. I nod and move by Tosaka. I can use this first aid kit, right? Oh, as expected from a house at the dojo. It's rare to see a first aid kit with needles and thread along with scissors. Hey, come on, take your shirt off and show me your wound. Wound chest. I have to take my clothes off? No, I can do it myself. I treated myself this morning. It shouldn't be a problem. Come on. I don't know why you're so reserved, but who do you think treated that wound in the first place? That was, I was unconscious, and I was only causing trouble for Tosaka at the time. Stop your whining and hurry up. Your wound is special, so we have to treat it right for it to heal up. How unfair. I can't complain if she tells me with a face like that. Okay, I'll leave it to you. To be honest, it's burning right now. I give up and sit down. Seeing that the shirt is stained with blood, Tosaka gives up taking it off and starts cutting it right away. She then quickly but carefully takes off the bandages. Is it that bad? Tosaka gasps when she sees my bare chest. But I'm troubled as well. It's so embarrassing to have her stare at my body so closely. You really did push yourself. It was healing up, but the wound opened up again. Jeez, I can't get mad at you if I see a wound like this. She talks like that, but gently touches the wound. Crap, I'm getting dizzy for a different reason. I was able to stay calm even when she was near me, but my heart's beating fast now and I'm having trouble determining where to look. Man. I criticize myself mentally, but it does no good. The temperature inside of my head will keep increasing as long as we're like this. Because the dizziness isn't caused by my wound. Tosaka, it's fine now, right? Just use the septic and roll up the bandage. That's not called treating. I take it back, I'm angry. You went outside with a hack job like this? A slapping sound. Gee! What was that for? Tosaka just slapped me on my wound. How? Do you have some grudge against me? You have no idea. You should thank me for going easy on you. You slapped my wound. Saying so, Tosaka takes out something that looks like ointment. That hurts, right? I healed the dead nerves, so it shouldn't hurt for a while. There's painkiller in this ointment, but it's mainly to replace your flesh. It'll hurt until it familiarizes with your body, so don't do anything reckless until the pain goes away. She takes the jelly-like substance and applies it to my wound. It looks really suspicious, but I stay quiet since I know Tosaka is seriously treating my wound. That's it. You should feel much better tomorrow if you wrap some bandages around it and get a good night's sleep. She skillfully wraps the bandages around the wound. I'm not praising her or anything, but she does a much better job than I do. Yeah, thanks, Tosaka. Feel much better. I thank her while averting my gaze. Well, that's good. I'm glad I treated you if you say so. Yeah, it's even more helpful because I thought it wouldn't heal up. Thanks for treating the wound. Yeah, it's only natural. It'll heal as long as I treat it. Finishing the treatment, Tosaka gets up. Then, I don't know why, but she heads to the kitchen. Tosaka? Am I seeing things? She's checking what's inside the fridge and the rice cooker. Hey, what are you doing over there? I'm preparing dinner. You haven't eaten yet, right? I haven't eaten either, so we're gonna eat dinner. Yeah, I can tell, but why cook dinner like this? It's natural, right? People can't come up with good ideas on an empty stomach. Tosaka speaks while staring inside the refrigerator. Okay. Sound of our utensils echo in the room. It's past 10. Wow, really? It's only 10 o'clock? I didn't know how it ended up like this, but Tosaka and I are eating late dinner together. By the way, dinner was made by both of us. Tosaka wanted to eat Japanese food, but she didn't even know how to make miso. It really makes me wonder what they're teaching in the cooking class at school. Tosaka's concentrating on her meal. She must be hungry as her plate's almost empty. But I don't really have much of an appetite right now. It's partly because this isn't the time to be eating, but more so because I haven't replied to Tosaka. You can forfeit here, Shiro. I haven't told him a reply to those words. Tosaka, I have something to talk about. I put my chopsticks down and stare at her. What? I've been thinking about my reason for joining this battle, and what I wanted to do. Yeah, and? She urges me to go on and she sips the miso. She's putting my spirit down, but I try to get myself together. At first, it was because I got dragged into this, and I wanted to do something about the war. But it has nothing to do with how I became a master, or how I got dragged into this. I like superheroes. That's why I have to protect everyone. I don't really care about this master thing. It really makes no difference that I'm not a master, or that I've lost Saber. I say so, ready for Tosaka's rebuttal. But... oh, I see. She makes an absent-minded response and finishes her rice. Hey now, Tosaka, I'm talking, like, seriously, so... I'm listening. You'll fight by yourself, right? the fact that people are dying bothers you more than the fact that you might die. That's why you decided to fight, no matter how weak you are. She looks straight at me. It's as if she sees through the part of me that I don't even know about. And most of all, she approves that I'm fighting. Oh, yeah, that's right. What's with that face? You're like a squirrel that licked sugar. Honestly, it has like the strangest analogies. Anyway, well, I thought you would object. I am, but I can't complain to you when you save me like that. And I understand that you're like that no matter how much I try and stop you. Jessica averts her gaze a bit. I don't know why, but... Then we're still cooperating? Yeah, I can't help it, so I'll go along with you. First of all, I'll be worried that I won't be able to sleep soundly if I let you be by yourself, and... She takes a huge breath. After getting ready for some reason... To put it in your words, I don't hate you, Shiro. So it's fine if we stay together, right? She hands me the bowl. How long did it take me to realize as if she's asking for seconds? Oh, yeah, of course. I don't even really care how much of a tyrant you are. I take the bowl and fill it with from the rice cooker and hand it back to her. Fine. I'm hungry and the food's good. Jessica starts eating the heap of rice. I smile. I bet I'm smiling as I eat. But I can't help it. I'm so happy right now. So let me smile like a fool for a while. Well, now that we're drinking tea after dinner, so projection has its limitations. Its power seems unlimited since it makes your imagination real, but projection has its own set of rules. The simplest is about the projected object's durability and the strength of its existence. Tosaka puts up a finger and drinks her tea. Strength of its existence? What, you mean like its flimsiness and being unable to bear the existence of the illusion? I sip the tea and tilt my head in wonder. You seem like you don't know anything, but you sure do know some interesting terms. Well, you're not right, but you're not wrong either. Projection uses your mental image to completely reproduce the genuine object. There's no exception to this. You can't project it if it's not perfect inside of you. As it is a shadow of the true object, the projection magic requires that to be no mistake. So basically, the projected object has the strength as you imagine it, and illusion is perfect in this regard. Oh wait. The closer to the knowledge and the image are to the true object, the more perfect the projected object is in real life. Wait, that's weird. I projected Archer's swords, but Kuzuge destroyed them. I know Castor strengthened his fists, but they aren't strong enough to destroy a noble phantasm. Doesn't that mean that Kancho and Bakia are inferior to the originals? Yeah, you realized a very good point, Emiya-kun. That's the limit of projection, the strength of the object's existence. Projection is just a projection, it's not creation. What makes the projection is the image in the caster's mind. So when a flaw is created in the image, the projected object vanishes even if it has the same ability as the original. When a flaw is created in the image? Isn't that also weird? You can't project it if the image is incorrect, right? Right, so the flaw would be created after it is projected. Let's see. Let's say you project a sword that will not break. I nod. Tosaka nods in satisfaction. But a sword that will not break doesn't exist. It's just the sword is famed or called unbreakable, so it can break if it comes across illusion greater than itself. Doesn't it mean my image was wrong once it breaks? I made a sword that won't break, right? That's wrong. It's perfect the moment you project it. First of all, a sword that will not break is just a name. There isn't an actual sword that won't break. But what you imagined is a sword that won't break, right? If the sword breaks in real life, what is projected becomes a lie. And I'm out. Fuck. This isn't because the sword broke. What you imagined is a sword that will not break. So when it breaks, the sword that broke and the sword that will not break, in your imagination, become two separate things. It's because the scales between you and reality tip. So if I sum it up, okay. So I imagined a sword that wouldn't break, and projected it, but the projected sword broke during battle. When that happened, I denied the sword saying, hey, this sword broke. As a result, the projected sword disappeared. And that's because there was an inconsistency between reality and the image, right? You're pretty right. Yeah, you're right. You projected Archer's swords. I don't know how you ranked Archer's swords, but you didn't imagine swords that would break from Kuzuki's attacks. But the swords were destroyed. At the time, you thought, these aren't Archer's swords. The projected swords you were denied by the maker, so they lost their strength of existence and became a fantasy once again. I see. Even projected weapons can break. But it's not the enemy, but you who made them disappear from this world. When the difference between the reality and the image becomes too large to be reconciled, the projected weapon disappears. Is it because the one who projected the weapon stops believing in the image? Or it is. Do you get it now? So projection starts from the blueprint. You should consider materials, property, and history. If you have those down, I don't think the projected object will disappear right away, even if it is a bit different. Wouldn't you start from how it was considered to be made? Materials and techniques aren't enough. Let's take today's dinner as an example. It started when you said you wanted to eat Japanese food, right? So you have to start from the very beginning of the creation. Oh. Tosaka stunned. Tosaka stares at me. I drink tea and tilt my head in wonder. Hey, how did we start talking about this in the first place? You're right. I thought you were talking about what our future course of action should be. Oh yeah. We were talking about what our course of action should be. Shiro, do you want to seriously practice projection magic? When Tosaka derailed the conversation. I remember now. We were so stumped we started placing hope on uncertain factors. Yeah. First of all, I can manage to project are swords. That hasn't helped me too much, so it's probably not of much use. Oh, she's looking at me with those eyes again. I wonder why. She always makes that face when we talk about projection magic. Oh well, let's confirm our current situation. For now, our enemy is Caster. She isn't too bad by herself, but we can't do anything as long as she's protected by Kuzuki and Archer. Plus, it's only a matter of time before Saber's controlled. The situation's getting worse by the second. Yeah, but Saber isn't under Caster's complete control. That gives us a chance of victory. There's no chance of victory once Saber gives in. I can't let that happen. She told me to run. She told me she cried. So for Saber's sake, I can't let Caster do as she wishes. That's right. So raise your hand if you have an idea. Shiro, do you have any good ideas? An idea that'll break the current deadlock. If there's a way to oppose Caster, it's... Well, we can't fight him head on, for obvious reasons. No, hey, we can't fight him head on. Is there a secret passage in the church? Or do we call in reinforcements? I'm gonna say reinforcements, but I'm not quite sure who this leaves us with. Unless we're talking about Ilya. But Ilya hasn't really made herself known in this route, so I don't know. They aren't opponents that we can take on by ourselves. There are 3 enemies. Then we'll need at least one more on our side. Then there are limited possibilities. People who are mages and have reason to fight against Caster. It'll be other masters. Okay, Tosaka, don't get mad and hear me out. But, do you think it's possible to cooperate with other masters? Alright, why do you say so? You must have a plan. Well, I mean, it's not strictly the case, but caster isn't something the other masters can just ignore, right? Especially with, like, what, 4 servants under her control? So I thought we might be able to cooperate to be just to be caster. Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. I didn't say it because I thought you'd object. She says so unenthusiastically. She must not like the idea, but she must know that it's the only option we have. Well, there are 2 remaining masters now. Lancer's master and Berserker's master. Well, that really only leaves... There's no way to negotiate with Lancer's master because his identity is unknown. Well, we might have a chance with Berserker... Oh. There's no way to negotiate with... Wait a minute. Well, we might have a chance to negotiate with Berserker's master, Iliasville. Berserker's master. The white girl and the statue-like giant I met on the night it all began. She sounded dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel. Yeah, I think she might listen to us. I don't think she'll ask for much in return either. You idiot, she's the most dangerous for you. She was only looking at you, Shiro. I don't know what she'll do to you. What do you mean? I only met her once, so it can't be possible. Quit scaring me like that, Tosaka. We'll stop the negotiations right then if that does happen. Then... Tosaka averts her gaze and gulps down her tea. But we can only bet on Iliasville for now. If Archer's right about Caster's identity, Berserker would be her natural enemy. They knew each other when they were alive, so he should know Caster's tricks. Berserker can handle Caster and Archer by himself, so we can take care of Kuzuki while he does so. That's an optimistic thought. But does Berserker really know Caster? Yeah, Archer told me that Berserker's true identity is Heracles. If Caster really is that witch, Berserker might know her through the Argo expedition. Fate has like a... Well, yeah, I guess... Technically speaking, Heracles was on the Argo, but he was there like really short. I don't even think he properly met Medea. Anyway, it's just like how he didn't get along with Kyrie. Everyone has a natural enemy. Oh, yeah, Archer told me that Berserker's true identity is Heracles. If Caster really is that wish, Berserker may know who the Argo is. It's just like how I don't get along with Kyrie. Everyone has a natural enemy. Okay. But I'm sure everyone would dislike that priest. Then it's decided. But how do we go about finding her? She hasn't really appeared since that night. We should be able to find her because of her large magical energy, right? But we can't find her in spite of that. So doesn't that mean she's not in town? I'd assume not. Iliasville must be having fun, watching the Holy Grail from a faraway place. Faraway place? Is she keeping watch over the town? Like how Caster was doing at the temple? I don't know, but I have an idea of where she might be. I heard from my dad that the Einsburns have a villa in the forest in the outskirts of town. She says so with a tense voice. A villa inside the forest. Tosaka's expression tells me how dangerous the place is. I go back to my room and lie down. Drowsiness fills my body as soon as I do so. I stare at the dark ceiling. We are going to Iliasville's hideout tomorrow. No matter what kind of negotiations take place, it's obvious that we'll need energy. Tosaka said we wouldn't get good results with tired bodies, so we decided to head out after we sleep. 5 hours until dawn. I'll have to talk to her after that. The young master that appeared in the night the night I became a master. If Saber's a servant excellent in all aspects, Berserker's a servant specialized in battle. There's no servant that can match Berserker in simple combat. How can I talk to such monsters? Saying it makes me believe it's impossible to negotiate with them. But strangely, I don't really feel any uneasiness. I think Ilia will understand it if we talk to her. Just like Tosaka, if you classify enemy and ally as a mage, But I think she's a proper girl, with all that aside. Man, what wishful thinking. I haven't even talked to her yet. I bet you would scorn me, saying that it's a convenient fantasy. But what's wrong with believing? Is it wrong to have hope for someone you haven't met yet? I realize that I'm gritting my teeth. The man who told me to drown in my ideals and die betrayed Tosaka in front of me. A guy with that much trust and power switched his allegiance so easily. Archer. My mind darkens. No, it's freezing. My head cools down when I think about what he did. I'm angry. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosaka. I can't forgive the fact that he cast away his partner. I will swear here, even if that may have been the very best action, even if it turns out that it was the right choice to survive, I will never do something like that. His actions have been getting on my nerves. He told me not to talk about ideals. I opposed him when he told me I can't save everybody. But I agreed with his words somewhere inside of me. His words are correct. The superhero my father talked about is just a fantasy. And I accepted the fact that I would have to become like him to get as close to the ideal as possible. Not wanting to do so, I openly denied the idea even though I accepted it in my mind. But this isn't on such a level. I can't approve of him. I can't approve of his actions no matter what the circumstances may be. I won't be able to keep standing if I approve of him. That's why I can't lose to you. My words do not disperse into the darkness, but stay in the room. A few hours until dawn. I keep repeating those words even in my sleep. And that should do it, guys. What a promising little thing we see right here versus Berserker. Surely nothing bad will happen. And everything will go according to plan, and Iliasville will be very nice to us. Anyway, hopefully the sound wasn't really weird. Like I said, the mic was peaking like near constantly, and I think the game audio might be just a little too low. But other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Until then, have a good one. Bye. Oh shit.